One of my favourite subjects to talk about, Deontay Wilder. So look, I spoke about this previously, right? I made a video, or it was about 2 weeks ago, and I spoke about how Deontay Wilder, I think it was when he put out an initial tweet saying to Tyson Fury that, oh, you know, fight me or this, that and the other. But since then, I think it was maybe 4 or 5 days ago, he put out that video. The infamous video where he's basically standing there holding the phone in his hand like that. Firstly, let's just talk about the video itself. Like, if you're gonna make a video, if you're gonna produce a video, at least make it a good. Like, I think I could have edited a better video than that. Like, even the bronze bomber, the logo was like, it wasn't even HD. Like, weird. It was like he screenshotted it. Like, he went on a website for his own logo and he screenshotted it, then he cropped it. And then the actual video itself, like, he's holding the phone and he's standing high up in some building and you can see the skyline behind him. And it's a shit video, right? Just production quality wise, it's a shit video. One thing that I struggle with, and I haven't seen anyone talk about this, is like, he's standing there barefaced lying. He's just standing there lying, right? And he's doing it using verses or words from the Bible. So for someone that's a religious man, for someone that believes in God and is a committed Christian, why are you lying while using the Bible as a metaphor for what's going on in your life? But you're lying though. I'm pretty sure one of the main things in all, I'm not very religious myself, but one of the main things in all religions is you shouldn't lie. You shouldn't deceive people. You're standing there deceiving people using religious words. Like, I mean, it's very hard to find any credibility in you, Deontay Wilder, as a man, as it is. But just to push it over the edge, just that little bit more, you got to use religious words and bring religion into it, and race and this, that and the other. But we'll get there. We'll talk about that later. The claims themselves. Breland put muscle relaxers in my water. Well, we'll get to that because that was in his interview. I don't think he actually mentioned it during that video. But he spoke about how he feels Breland was part of the other camp. The gloves. Tyson Fury's gloves. I've spoken about this before. His gloves. Then he had an egg weight in his glove. And this goes back to what I was saying before, man. This guy, Deontay Wilder, has just... It's one thing, believe in your own hype, right? You can believe your own hype, but then something can happen to bring you back down to ground. So, for example... You can argue maybe Anthony Joshua believed his own hype. I don't know if this is true, but you can say Anthony Joshua might have believed his own hype. He got beat by Ruiz, and what did he do? He put his feet back on the ground and he went again. Lomachenko now, he's lost to Teofimo Lopez. You might say, oh, he believed his own hype. He thought he didn't give Lopez a respect he should have. I don't believe that for a second. I'm just giving an example. And Lomachenko now, he has to prove himself. He has to come back stronger. Deontay Wilder lost, got humiliated, got dismantled. And rather than addressing the fact that I'm not as good as I thought I was, he's doubled down. He's doubled down on this believing his own hype trait that he's got. and he's just concocted this story of fucking bullshit and deception. And I don't know what part of him or his team thought that a general audience is going to really buy this. We're going to scoop this up. We're going to grab this with both hands and say, oh no, Deontay. He had loaded gloves. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're going to sit and say, oh, that Breland, I always knew he was a dodgy character. Like, of course nobody actually fucking believes what he's saying. But the reason why he's doing this is he's not talking to you and me. He's not talking to us, the wider audience. There's a reason why as soon as he dropped that video, he spoke to fucking 78 Sports, and then he spoke to Barbershop Conversations, guys. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. There's a reason why he spoke to both of them guys. And he's got the nerve to say, "Oh, I'm not going to speak to the what they call old media. I'm not going to speak to the old media because they're all part of it. They're all part of the same system that wants to cheat me and take me down." And I don't believe for a fucking second that Barbershop Conversation and 78 Sport believe what Deontay Wilder is telling them. But they know that this is what the audience that they have managed to gain by being such fanboys of Deontay Wilder. They know that this is what those fanboys want to hear. Like, even during those interviews, like I listened to the 78 Sports one, I couldn't listen to the Barbershop. I just can't stand the way that interaction was going, and I just checked out. But even like during the interview with 78 Sports, like Deontay Wilder was like, "I got proof. I got evidence, man." Like, he's talking about how he's got proof and evidence that Tyson Fury's gloves were loaded. But not once did 78 Sports say, "What is your proof? What's your evidence? Like, what is it?" Do you know what I mean? Like, just ask the question. Let Deontay Wilder say, "Oh, nice, it's going through a legal thing, so I can't say right now." Like, let him say that. They don't challenge him on anything. So he's just there in his own little bubble, in his own little world, with his own little fanboys, and they're just having a fucking pity party amongst themselves, while the rest of the world are sat here looking at what's going on and just laughing. And just thinking to like me, I'm just sat here thinking, fuck, man. Like, you're such an exciting fighter. I'd love to see you fight again. But, like, help me have some compassion towards you. Because right now, all you're doing is making everybody at the world at large look at you and just laugh. You're a laughing stock. And like, he's just gone into this igloo of the LDBC, and within that igloo, all he can hear around the fucking walls of this igloo is just people telling him that he's a fucking king. King of what? King of bullshit, that's what. It's a fucking joke, man. Like, he's so like it's just so embarrassing, to the point where he tweeted about how he was offered more money to fight AJ, and now Tyson Fury, so it's time for you to do the right thing. Whereas, like, back then, all you could talk about is how AJ's ducking you. They don't want the fight. And what's all this? Remember all this talk about, "Oh no, I didn't take that deal with AJ because I want to do things on my own terms. I want to be my own boss. I want to do things on my own terms." Do things on your own fucking terms. You're sat here telling us that you want to fight Tyson Fury again. You have or had a contract that obligated Tyson Fury to give you a rematch. Do things on your own terms. Be your own boss. Nah, I'm a boss, man. I'm a boss. Well, fucking fighting then. What more is there to do? Like, you said you want to be your own man. This is the perfect opportunity to show that you're your own boss. You're your own man. It's a fucking joke, man. He's a joke. Sorry I got so worked up there. Almost started sweating. Right, last thing. Israel Adesanya. So